Hello, guys. This is Calvin Whitcliffe, and yesterday, one of my lifelong heroes, person that has been with me and I followed throughout my childhood, um, has created many different comic book characters and changed my life. Stan Lee passed away, and today I wanted to make a video and share on share what I feel and about pretty much one of my all-time heroes. Um, I've been a comic book fan since I was a child, a very little kid in elementary school. My first two superheroes were Batman and Superman. You know, I read DC comic books all the way, and I still read them to this day. But those were the books I read. My first book was Justice League, all the way up into the fifth grade. When I talked to one of my best friends at the table about, what I thought about my two favorite superheroes, and he introduced me to X-Men. That was my first introduction into the comics of Marvel, or the X-Men created by Stan Lee and Jack Kirby. And it was the book that opened my eyes. The first two characters that I saw in there in the books that I attached myself to was Rogue and Miss Marvel. And people are familiar about that story between them two in the comics, how they were rivals and how Rogue stole all her powers. And then on, I was introduced to Wolverine and other characters through the X-Men books. I had, at the time, all the way up until the early 2000s, more X-Men books than any other book that I read. And I was addicted to those books. I remember hearing about Stan Lee and looking into his stuff and his stories. He was a very energetic person, and he had this spirit about him. And throughout Marvel, I was introduced to so many characters: Avengers, Fantastic Four, and one of my personal favorites, Spider-Man. Spider-Man was the character that I related to, as long with as well as the X-Men, and they were great. They were great characters, and I really attached to it. And I read a lot of Marvel comic books, and I still collect them today. And it's inspired me to be an artist, and one day I hope I can get my act together and get into comics. The thing about Stan Lee is, like, he was very interactive. His shows, he would come on shows, and he was the voice of many of the cartoons and comics and the cartoons shows, like Spider-Man's Amazing Friends. I watched some of those, The Incredible Hulk, and he did some voiceovers, and it was great. But I knew that I wanted to meet him, and I remember the first time I got to meet basically my hero, Stan Lee. I went into, I believe it was Fandom Fest, comic book convention. Took a picture with him. I had a Star Wars lightsaber and a Spider-Man T-shirt, not a T-shirt, but a Spider-Man dress shirt with a Star Wars lightsaber. And he looked up at me and was like, he looked up at me and was like, "It's a nice lightsaber you have there, sir." And I was like, "This is where we're going to take the picture." And I said, "Yeah." He said, "May the force be with you." And I laughed, and he's a funny dude. Um, on the Q&A, I got to go up and tell him my story and told him how I was in the comic books, and he clowned me a little bit